This is for fathers, man. It's for us out there trying our best to be in our kids' lives, okay? Trying to have that relationship with our children, and just, our ex, make it difficult. It seemed like she make it more difficult than it needs to be, right? And I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine the other day, man. Dude I didn't know since probably eighth or ninth grade. And I'm not gonna put too much of his business out there, but of course it inspired this video. So my boy was talking about, the normal co-parenting shit that we all go through, where it seemed like your ex just like, oh, her goal is just to make your life a living hell, or not even make your life a living hell, make your relationship with your kids a living hell, right? And I wanted to share some things in this video that have allowed me to be able to kind of keep my peace, keep my calm, no matter what's going on with my ex. And I've talked about it in some of my other videos. You may or may not know, like I'm in like a custody battle. I have to go to reunification therapy. I got therapists involved, lawyers involved. I got all types of legal shit going on my end, and me trying to maintain my relationship with my middle daughter. I've been in it for a few years now. I'm not even getting my daughter, and that can be hard on a dad. Yeah, I've been going through this custody stuff with my ex, and my situation is a situation I don't wish on anybody. I hope that you're never in the courts and having judges and people dictate to you how to interact with your kids. And then on the other hand, you might have the co-parent, the ex. They might have their own agenda. You know what I mean? And my own personal experience with this is my kid, I feel like, was influenced by people around her. And it has me fighting to be in her life, okay? That's just to give like a little tidbit on what I'm dealing with. But what I'm saying is, in interacting with my ex, I've learned some things, man. And I hope that this helps brothers out there, man, because I know a lot of dudes, I don't even think they know they can do this. You need to go downtown in your county and file for like mediation, okay? And what I'm talking about in these situations is the high conflict situations. That's the term that they use in legal stuff. High conflict, not the situations where you can have a conversation with your baby mom and y'all work things out. Hey, how Junior doing in school? Y'all can have them cordial conversations. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the dynamic where she don't want nothing to do with you, and she damn sure don't. She basically don't even want you to have a relationship with your kids, and you're fighting to kind of get around that. I'm talking about these types of dynamics, okay? So in those types of dynamics, to protect yourself as a man, you need to go downtown and go get a damn parenting agreement. It's free, bro. I'm pretty sure it's free in most counties. I don't know. I ain't looked it up. But in my county, that shit is free. You go down there, you file a little paperwork, to set up mediation, and you go sit and you talk in front of somebody, you and your ex, and y'all set up like, a schedule that works for you to be able to see your kid. You kind of work out all the particulars and stuff, right? And this is if, hopefully you can sit down in a room with her and be able to have this conversation. Now, if you can't have this conversation, they go send your ass to court. And you have to go to court and kind of get, a parenting agreement established. Now, I know this may sound intimidating, like, man, I ain't doing that shit. Look, the parenting agreement is what will protect you from when your baby mom or, whatever you want to call her, co-parent, when they, decide that they don't want you to see your kid for any reason, or they may be withholding visitation, or they may flip the schedule on you just because because she feel like it, because there's nothing in writing to keep her from doing it. Okay. And this video is not to like antagonize you in a way or have you feeling all amped up and angry. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this to protect myself from her. No, man, this is just on some chill, grounded, grown man type shit, man, where to protect yourself, man, you need to go get a piece of paper, man, that says when you see your kids, man, you need structure. You need to have it written out so that nobody can just switch things up on you. Okay. When things get switched up on you, man, that's going to create stress in your life, anxiety, anger towards people. If you're like me, you value your relationship with your children very much, right? And don't like anybody playing around with that. So me personally, I had to go get some paperwork and get that taken care of, like, so I know when I'm supposed to see my kids, right? And then if they choose to go against it, hey, you got the paperwork, all right? And then you start documenting things. So that's one way to kind of maintain your peace, when dealing with your ex. Another strong way to maintain your peace and sense of mental clarity is to make sure you're taking care of yourself, man, your mental health. Make sure, and what that looks like for me, make sure that you're becoming more self-aware, working on the emotional intelligence, learning how to be more present, practice mindfulness, man, meditate. All these things, man, they allow me to be able to calm my mind and calm my nervous system so that when things trigger me or things happen or a message comes through from my ex or something like that, I'm more like not so reactive to it. I allow it to just breathe and live and exist. You know, that message. I mean, I don't have to, I don't get me wrong. Sometimes, yeah, like something to come through and you have to just like, what it is becoming more aware that you don't have to react to everything. It's picking and choosing your battles. Okay. It's like, yo, what she's saying right now doesn't really acquire my immediate attention. You know, yeah, it's pissing me off or it might be annoying you. And you may feel that sense like I need to respond to this. But the more you start working this muscle and practicing this skill, man, you'll realize like I can get to that in a moment. And it's probably better that you do get to it in a moment. Like don't respond to it right away because you're coming from that place of emotions. You know what I'm saying? You're coming from that place of like, yo, you're not grounded, man. You're not regulated. You got to like, don't be responding in text messages. Don't be saying shit. Give yourself some space and some time before you respond to things, okay? That's going to really help you out too, man. And again, I'm talking about high conflict situations. And speaking of communications, make sure your communications is just, let me see what time it is. I'm actually about to pick up my son right now. And I want to get this video recorded. But like I was saying, make sure that you're limiting your communication to like just shit about the kids, man. We can easily get wrapped up in like emotional conversations with our exes. You might be talking about what little Timmy had for lunch, and before you know it, you're arguing about some argument y'all had 3 years ago. You done brought it back up. I remember when you did this for his lunch or whatever. The point is, man, to be mindful, like in your communications, keep it limited, keep it about the kids, always keep the kids in the forefront. It's hard. That's hard to do too, man. That's why you got to work on your, on being more present and more self-aware so that, you know, you're keeping your kids in the forefront and you're not allowing your ego and allowing, you know, your sense of self get kind of in the dynamic. You know, that's a little sneaky one right there, man, that I had to learn, man. But being mindful, this should help you with that, bro. This should help you in co-parenting and dealing with her. It'll help you dealing with any other human being. That's why I talk about it so much. Meditating, man. That shit will help your mind. And it's going to help your interactions, bro. It's going to make those text messages she may send you, you know, her behavior when it comes to your kids, it's going to make it not, it's still going to be annoying, but it's not going to sting so much because you've learned to regulate yourself. You have to develop a better relationship with your nervous system, man. Some of us don't even know what nervous system is, what it means, how it impacts us. When she say something to you, you react already, you dysregulated, your nervous system fucked up. So once you can develop a better relationship with your nervous system, you can recognize like, oh shit, she sent that text, and I feel it in my body. That's what it is. I can feel it in my bones that it's annoying me, but I ain't got to respond to it. I'm just noticing it, letting it breathe, letting it live, letting it exist. Let that shit pass. And then I can respond from a place of clarity and more in control of what I want to say. That's what it is, man. That's the skill. These are things that are going to help you in co-parenting, man, because it's not easy out here, man. This shit can be annoying when you're in these like really, really tough custody type situations, courts involved, stuff like that. You got to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're strengthening your ability to stay grounded and regulated, not just for this situation, but for any situation in your life. I hope this video provided you with some value too, man. Hope you're getting something out of this, man. Y'all let me know what you think about the vibes. I'm gonna start doing these walks here, man, and talking with you, you know, and keeping it real. But also make sure you check out another one of my videos. I'll leave it floating on the screen for you. All right, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.